has never been more ambitious and brave, says BBC boss. When you say brave, you mean doing things that makes everybody hate it. Like, was the Millie Gibson, not Millie, because was the Yasmin Finney bullshit brave or was it stupid? Because I honestly, the absolute stupidity of that, right? The absolute stupidity. Wait, did I just miss a whole bunch of chat? Ethan Bookholder is here. Hello, Ethan. Thank you for joining us. 1 second. I think that's the only person I didn't say hello to. Right. Anyway, so was it brave? Here's the question. Was it brave when you did Doctor Who that literally nobody would have any interest in whatsoever? Which is what this is. Doctor Who that no sane person would have any, like, oh, she's a chick with a dick, so she's saying, firstly, you said chicks with dicks have been around forever. And they kind of have, but normally it's been like, somewhat semi-private. You don't have your chicks with dicks like leaping out at you. Oh, it's a chick with a dick, everybody out the way. Right? But no, because she is a chick with a dick, she saves all of reality because reasons? I don't know. I that's still stupid. But yeah, was that brave or was it just dumb? I think that was just dumb, right? That's where I am on this. I think it was just dumb, like a dumb thing to do, right? Because essentially it killed your goodwill, but here's the thing: you didn't realize that nobody fucking agrees with you, right? You didn't realize that you convinced yourself that you were being normal when you weren't. Shooting Gatwa's first full season begins in May, and I'm one of the few people on this side of Fandom who's actually looking forward to it. I'm intrigued by it. Like, I'm going to be as positive about it as possible, right? Until I can't, right? Well, with Jodie, that didn't last long. I did the same thing there. BBC director of drama Lindsay Salt has said the Doctor has never been more ambitious and brave. Firstly, tap down your ambition right now is just to build ridiculously big sets that nobody really cares about and have too high production values. I mean, again, I thought Meet the Beat was great, but I just think I once watched Face of Fucking Evil, which had I think actually relatively good production values, but they were still like obviously in a studio. But they just had great performances and such a great script. Right. Like, I honestly, if I was king of the world, I would decree that these huge budgets are over for TV shows. Like, enough already. Go back to making a show on a limited budget, right? And then, because then you have to rely on storytelling. The Beloved Sci-Fi celebrated the huge milestone this year, bringing back David Tennant and Catherine Tate for 3 specials, nothing special about them, which teed up Shooting Gatwa's fitting done. Teed it up? No, it didn't. It buried it. Should have teed it up, but absolutely buried it. Who's Salt? What was it? What? Salt celebrated how far the show has come while looking ahead. What? Oh, that's the name of the guy. While looking at the upcoming slate, and includes a sci-fi commission based on the novel The Ministry of Time. What the hell is this? What? BBC Commissioner A224 time travel series The Ministry of Time. What is this? I mean, this looks like every other way. Part sci-fi, part romance, part thriller. Oh, it's something that nobody's going to watch. That's what it is. Okay. It's not. Lindsay Salt, director, has made the announcement that looking ahead at broadcasting. This, which is about to be published in the UK in May this year, is a debut novel from Kayleen Badin. Lady Macbeth. Alice Birch has adapted a novel for screen. Lady Macbeth, Alice Birch adapted a novel for screen, and the series is being produced by A24. Oh, this is a box-ticking piece of shit. I mean, really? How do I know it's a box-ticking piece of shit? Oh, this will surprise you. This is her first novel, right? Fuck off. What was this going to do in there? Oh, yeah, fine. That's the other thing they commissioned. She said, what was it? Oh, Lindsay. I thought that fine. Doctor Who celebrated 6th anniversary this year, and it has never been more ambitious and brave, and it failed. Yeah, it may have been ambitious and brave, but it was a complete fucking failure, right? And we all know, it was a big failure. And again, I believe that's part of the reason that Millie Gibson is going, sadly. Immediately after, she spoke about the BBC's approach to risk-taking. Okay, you don't take any risk, right? You do the safest shit humanly possible as long as you live inside your little Twitter bubble. It's not taking a risk to say, you know what, 98% of you believe we think you're bigots. That's not a risk because you're saying it from your safe ivory fucking tower. Look, have you seen your comedy? There's nothing fun about it. You want to take a risk? How about having a show without a lesbian trans captain in a masculine role? There's something about this moment, the current climate in our industry, where everybody hates everything you're doing, that makes our approach to risk even more essential. Yeah, no, this is you digging down, you dumb cunt, right? This is you digging your little hills in, and believe me, mate, this isn't going to last. This is not going to last. Oh, come on, by Pacer, give me a messianic era and all this evil cast aside. Oh, would not that be fantastic? Well, others might become more cautious, like people have to worry about money. We will go further and take the risk others won't. This isn't a risk. This is how you talk yourself into being shit. We're going to take a risk and do absolute shit that nobody likes. Oh, EastEnders taking a risk and nobody watches anymore. Oh, how stunning, how brave. Doctor Who took a risk and miscast the main character while making the stories boring as fuck. What a whisk. Was it a risk taking Russell E. Davies? I didn't think so. Turns out it was a fucking risk, wasn't it? Don't fucking compare yourself to the genuine risk takers that came before you. You're no Dennis fucking Potter, darling. Okay? Me, you're not even Dominic fucking Hyde. Well, others might be below cautious. Let us tell to task all brilliant creative in the room to keep pushing those boundaries to venture into the creative unknown. What, like doing a story with the beginning, middle, and end that people like? That right now is the creative unknown for the modern industry. The real risk taking is about protecting those dangerous moments in the script and those moments where you sit and think, wow, I've never seen that before. Or are they allowed to do that? Why don't you focus on telling a good fucking story, right? And if you did that, Disney, you wouldn't have to reshoot all your fucking content 3 times over. Girls' first all season will begin in May with the release of a trailer at Christmas. Season 14 it's season 1. Also, Doctor Companion, Ruby Sunday, Meet the Beatles, Encounter Jinx Monsoons, Terrifying Villain, and Adventure. Okay, fine. We can't wait, even though you didn't know any of these. So that leads us nicely into thoroughly fucked over Millie. Look at this. What's no everyone's doing there? Fine. Corey Star. What are they doing over there? I don't know. What is that? Some Israeli thing. What video do I want to be distracted by less? Can I turn that off? And I got a third one going over here. Holy shit, can everybody stop? Fine. Corey Star, Millie Gibson, looks downcast as she's seen for the first time since Doctor Who Axe. Yeah, look, it's the Axe. They're all right about that, I believe. Millie Gibson made her debut on Doctor Who's Companion on Christmas special, but then was revealed that Varada Sithu would be replacing her in the sci-fi series. And I don't think that was the plan. Coronation Street, Millie Gibson cut a glum figure. It really fucks me off. As she was packed for the first time since being dropped from Doctor Who. The actress, 19, made her debut in the sci-fi show at Christmas before as an epic plan. We just said that. Yeah, she doesn't look happy. Can we zoom in on that? Maybe we'll zoom in. How do I get to the? Yeah, 1 second. I'll grab that and I'll look at it we'll look at it in more detail in a minute. Seen in Manchester Day sporting a tan baseball cap with a blonde locks hidden beneath a multicolored Carhartt fleece baggy bleached jeans and Ugg boots. Okay, Millie took a walk in the windy weather with her parents. The actress appeared to be keeping a low profile as the cat was spotted leaving a coffee shop with her hands in her pockets alongside mum and dad and family dog Spike. Honestly, I really like this person. I think, and it's not just because I'm like, super horny for them, right? Which I am. I don't want to deny that I am. I am, but I want to see Spike. They reported the decision by Doctor Who showrunner Rusty Davies to write out the former Coronation Street star who plays Orphan Ruby Sunday was made last year after filming her first run ended. The sudden twist came as a shock to many fans who only watched Millie Gibson on screen, the debut festive episode in December. Now Millie will not appear in the 2024 Christmas special. Later this year, will make only a handful of appearances across Shooter's second season. As a Doctor during 2025. But the 8 episodes she filmed will air from May. The BBC has announced after that the TARDIS will welcome in. They haven't announced it, have they? A new companion, Verada, who has already started filming in Cardiff. The actress 32 made a name for herself on the TV series, a whole host of TV series. She was best known as Sintra in 2022's Ballfest. Andor was a show. It got better towards the end, but it was almost entirely made out of cut scenes, like things that were like cut out of the cut scenes, scenes that were cut, I should say, and has appeared in 3 seasons of Sky Drama's series Strike Back, based on books of Chris Ryan. And also, she's not white, which is a good thing. Like, who would have thought being a super hot white chick would be a bad thing? Guess you picked the wrong time to be an actress, darling. In 2016, she was also in the role. Had a role in the second Smash It. In the second series of Smash It, Dr. Foster. While her films include Jurassic Park, Dominion, never saw it, and the highest movie, Now You See Me Too. That apparently I didn't see it, but that was shit. Brenda's a real gem. You said all this about bloody Millie Gibson. Brenda's a real gem. Oh, just imagine. Russell was just blown away by a talent. You said this about shooting fucking Gatwa. I don't believe a word coming out your fucking mouth, mate. The cast and crew really warmed to, I'm sure fans will too. I haven't managed to warm to this production. Look at this bullshit. However, the decision to exit Millie so soon shocked fans who expected to be a time travel at least 2 seasons when she and the Doctor rocked up on the screens in December a whopping 7.3. Oh, fuck off. No, they didn't. The viewers turned out to see their first... Wait, we didn't even have that here. 1 second. Pocket mags. Yeah, let's have a look at issue 600. If they have the ratings, it'll be there. 7 million. Will you piss off? Do me a lemon. Where was it? Showrunner, Galaxy Forum. Yeah, what doink? Church and Ruby Road. 7-day rating. Don't trust that at all. Live rating 2.41. That I trust. And I think these are bullshit, frankly. And I hate to say it because speaking of somebody who actually quite liked this Church. I thought Church and Ruby was by far the best thing. It was. I just don't think it's going to do very well, right? I think it's going to get Jodie numbers, right? And quite unfairly. The 7.3 isn't fabulous because You notice if it was great, if they would have hit the stop button straight away and bring it back in and reshoot, right? They're not scared of reshooting. In the past, some of the Doctor Who stayed for 1 year, including Paul Mackey as Bill Potts. Others include Jenna Coleman, who played Clara, also have clocked up longer stints. Yeah, we know that. Anyway, Toxic Fandom was outraged. Outraged, I tell you. Outraged. It was no, this one over here. But yeah, here, let's see if we can get a better look at these pictures before we get to Toxic Fandom because they're so bloody funny. Do I have a share screen? Share screen. Vinda. Here we go. Yeah, she's not looking too smiley, is she? God bless her. Yeah. So let's go back to the better resolution we have over here. Oh, Millie, darling, I'm sorry you got so fucked over. I really am. But these people are apoplectic. Okay, apoplectic. Look at these responses. This is so funny. Leave her alone. There's zero news justifications. It's harassment. No, this is celebrity gossip. She was very popular in the soap and in Doctor Who. You're a weirdo, mate. Right? You're a weirdo. I mean, like, who was it that said? Gareth Roberts said that Doctor Who fans always used to be a bit weird. Now they're just like weird and evil, right? I think, yeah. She's not been fired. She's still in season 2. It would be like Martha Jones, where she's not a full-time companion. Leave her alone. She's an 18-year-old kid. And you're 16. An 18-year-old kid. Apparently he's born in 75. Okay. Like, what the fuck? Like, leave her alone. The people who fucked her over are Disney and Rusty fucking Davis. In what world is stalking a 19-year-old news when she's famous? But again, why do you creepy weirdos all fixate on her age? Oh, she's 19 years old. You nuts. It's because you're having a wank when you think about it. Like, I'm much more, because I'm much more open about this. You just repress weirdos. Weirdos? It's a WTF? Leave her alone. She's not been fired or axed. How do you not feel terrible invading one's privacy and posting sensational drivel? Maybe you are the ones who need to look in the mirror. This is a Wassman. It's against Twitter TOS, right? I'm like, these people are fucked up. Right? These people are just socially inept, fucked up morons. And I'd say that because I'm so loving. That's why I just say that because I care. Okay, I say that because I care, baby. This is a way. Okay, fine. Okay, look how long this goes on for. How is this journalism? So the Mirror's just talking an 18-year-old now. Cool. How dare a celebrity not be constantly happy? Not really. I mean, look at this. I don't know. I think making up lies about her, they're stalking her to further your lies, is probably what's making her feel down. Darling, look, Millie, I know you think this was a huge break, darling. You have got out easy. Run and distance yourself from this production. Run. Probably because she's being stalked by a paparazzi. Paparazzi are the most useless element of society. Leave the poor woman alone. Okay. This woman who, she, her, Palestine, writer, musician, biracial, AUDHD, well, discovered late. Yeah, look, I can tell. Feminist, YouTuber, Art Plus, history lover, 29, and single. Channel 5's Me and My Mental Illness. Fuck me, darling. You do not sound well. Well, I bet that's not her. Look at her profile picture. Oh, could be. Could be. Yeah, but she's got crazy eyes. Right. Okay. This is come back. This is stalking harassment. She has a right to leave her alone without you photographing her. She's 19 years old. Stop. I mean, look at this. Fuck me. You're weird. You're all weirdos, right? You're all absolute weirdos. Speaking of weirdos, let's look at Doctor Who Fandom's King of the Weirdos. Mr. Trilby, right? Mr. Trilby. This is the most insane thing ever. So I covered this the other day, where Matt Smith says he thinks trigger warnings in theatre are a bad idea, right? In case people are going to get nervous and scared by seeing the things on stage that aren't real. Oh, maybe say again. It's like Zoanon. Cannot cope. Needs to destroy anything that doesn't match its worldview, right? Oh no, baby, women don't have penises. Oh no, right? But yeah, he's mad at me. The fact that Matt Smith simultaneously says that shows shouldn't come with warning, but says warnings for things like strobe lighting makes sense. Do you think? Okay, look at the bullshit here. That say that shows come with warning. So shows shouldn't come with warning. No, trigger warnings, right? It might hurt your little feelings to hear somebody say the N-word. Oh no! Oh, wait a minute. Somebody might say that women don't have dicks. So that's a trigger warning, right? A strobe light is a physical thing. If you're mentally unwell enough to go to the theatre without hearing things you don't like, you can't exist in a world where you can't hear things that you don't like, right? Then they shouldn't have a warning for that. See, they should have a warning before anything starts. By the way, if you're a totally fucked up weirdo, you better get out of here, right? Do that? No. It's a put on you not to be a fucked up weirdo. I'm talking to the wrong guy. But that warning for things like strobe lights makes kind of sense. Kind of shows that no one has any idea what they're talking about with this issue because it's deliberately incoherent. It's very coherent. The only person that's incoherent, and I think deliberately incoherent, is Mr. Trilby here, right? Mr. Totally straight, okay? I will not have anybody say that Mr. Trilby is bent as a dog's back leg. Is very ashamed of it because he's a bigot and his spouse, if he has one, is a beard, right? No, that's not the case at all. That will be cray-cray. Would explain everything, of course. But that will be cray-cray, right? Absolutely cray-cray. Not happening in any way, shape, or form. What do you think is incoherent about that weirdo? I really don't know. What about that is can't work that out. How can these two things coexist simultaneously? I don't know. Help me. Yeah, one's bullshit, one isn't, right? That's kind of a giveaway. Then he goes on. I have no idea where the narrative of sensitive theatre audiences come from. Okay, do you know sensitivity readers reading your YA novels? Things like that, right? Because the cunts that who need sensitivity warnings are an absolute fucking nightmare. Seriously, I think they made it up. This guy must know he's lying. The theatre is almost exclusively the home of wealthy now, as funding has dried up for grassroots orgs. We're talking about trigger warnings, but that's all you care about. This is a conversation which, in actuality, something you've never experienced before, is happening in the abstract because both Smith and Fiennes don't name an actual example. So what the fuck are you saying? Are you saying that they're like Ralph Fiennes and Matt Smith are lying cunts? Right? They were asked, "What do you think about sensitive, trigger warnings?" And they said in the nicest way possible, it's a very bad idea. Obviously, they can't talk about ideals that's being framed as something that's actively limiting the medium, but there's no reality to it. Again, there's trigger warnings on episodes of Doctor Who from over 50 years ago, right? It's really, and your denial of it's happening is exactly like your gaslighting here. Come with warning. They shouldn't come with warnings, but they also say the warnings for the strobe lights make sense. What type of warning? You are being deliberately obtuse because you're a lying cunt, right? I know he lies about me all the time. Whenever the Rabbi mentions me, I have nuts in my timeline. You don't. You are a liar. That never, ever, 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 ever happened, right? That never, ever, ever happened. It's just, dude. Where are we up to? Honestly, the main thing harming theatre right now are lack of funding, investments in Tory Britain. No, you know what? It's the lack of people having money in Biden's world, right? This economy that was destroyed because idiots like you said, "Oh, the Trump, so fascist," right? And you had all the evidence it was a fascist, the same amount of like reasoned, fact-based debate as you did in this thread. You lying piece of shit. Nepotism class, audience etiquette after lockdowns. As people don't know how to behave in public spaces anymore. Maybe you don't, weirdo. Every week in Manchester, a fight breaks out at a musical. Yeah, at a musical? You mean at a gig? Do you mean like, guys and dolls and cats? Or do you mean like Sex Pistols? Like, what are you talking about? Yes, I think this is a dumb thing for Matt to say. But in this clip, he's being enabled by equally dumb Laura Kuchenberg, whatever her name is, due to not having an iota of journalistic curiosity in her body. She felt well the obvious question. Such as, I bet they could answer. Oh, God. This guy's so disingenuous, isn't he? Oh, man. Like, what do you get for going through life like as a dumb cunt? I don't know. I don't know. It's truly bizarre, right? It is truly, truly bizarre. Yeah, while Darcy Davis is like trying to make the Timeless Children as canon can be. And with respect to Dan, I agree. I agree with him on pretty much everything. I just don't think though that I think it is important that the current production is very much trying to make the Timeless, make the Chibnall era real somehow. And I can understand if they were going to retcon them away some, but no, they're like bending over backwards to make the Chibnall era a thing. Christian will comment about his divisive spell in charge of Doctor Who aren't without merit, but also deflect some of the major issues. Did you notice that? Let's see what he had to say. Have you seen this summary thing they put at the beginning of every article? If you're too dumb to read anything, there's some people like read headlines and headlines. No, just read the thing. Christian has spoken recently about his time as Doctor Who showrunner and the divide he caused amongst fans. He didn't admit to that at all. So in fact, fans are just the worst, essentially. But the defense of his era raised more issues than it solved. Many of Chibnall's contributions to Doctor Who canon were amongst the most controversial in the franchise history, and they were the shittest, right? While certain aspects of the spell in charge of the long-running British sci-fi show displayed his creative flair, Chibnall's episodes arguably did more harm than good. Wait, let's go back and read that again. Of the long-running, while certain aspects of his spell in charge of the long-running sci-fi show displayed his creative flair. He doesn't have a creative flair. What are you talking about? Chibnall's episodes arguably did more harm. Arguably, I think In what way didn't they do more the harm than good, right? You explain this to me. As such, his problematic law is still dealt with in ongoing Doctor Who season 14. Yes, and schmucks that they are, right, Russell? Schmuck that you are about that. It was announced in 2016 that Chris Chibnall would take over from Stephen Moffat. What, man? That was a bit of a what was I going to say? A handbrake turn in quality. As Doctor Who showrunner, Chibnall's rise to prominence within the franchise was a combination of many years of writing the show, including some of Doctor Who's best standalone episodes. Yeah, but he seemed to have somebody on top of him who knew what they were doing. He wrote for Torchwood, and I think he was much better writing for Torchwood than Doctor Who. As such, Chibnall is a natural successor to Moffat. No, what's his name? Toby Whithouse was. However, Chibnall's recent comments on the negative reception of his time in charge imply he wasn't quite prepared for the responsibility he was about to shoulder. Yeah, you think, right? You think. That reminds me here. Let's find this. After this, we could. There's a little video we have to look at, which is just so funny. Right, here, I'll grab that over there. Fine. So Jodie Whittaker's Doctor had little to do with Chibnall's era's divisiveness. No, she was terribly cast. Like even when they worked out to keep it off the screen, right? She was just, whenever she destroyed the show. She was terribly cast, right? Oh, it's calling. Somebody from America, don't care. Chibnall puts much of the blame on the poor reception of his casting of Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor, who was actually one of the better parts. No, she wasn't. She was absolutely, she was atrocious. Like, really, I mean, just in every way, she was absolutely atrocious. Said he was super proud of the time in charge of Doctor Who, and the mixed reactions was totally fine. I mean, you haven't had a job on TV since, just pointing that out. While this may sound like Chibnall is just thick-skinned when it comes to criticism, well, he's certainly classed in the Rusty Davis. Further comments in the same interview imply the former showrunner was blind to the actual issues of the era. Yes, because he was. Instead, Chibnall put much of the blame on the poor reception of the casting Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. I don't think he did that. We knew that going in. You don't cast the first thing on a Doctor if you're not thinking of going. If you're thinking you're going to just go into the same as been done before. No, but you should have done some of the same things, like it not being unwatchable shit, right? That probably would have been a bit. I mean, like, look how goofy and stupid she is. Most of the fact that Whittaker was the first female Doctor to play the character and discussing the shortcomings of Chibnall's era comes across as an unfair explanation. I think you're stretching there to blame it. I don't think he's trying to blame her. He's saying my vision was too radical for the proles, right? The idiot proletariat. They couldn't work it out. It was too wild and out there for them. Off. To play the world. Some weren't taken with Whittaker as a Doctor, but initially disliking a new actor isn't uncommon occurrence. I liked her, but God, she got worse. I liked her because I was giving the benefit of the doubt. By the time we got up to Arachnids in the UK, that wasn't possible anymore. That's all at 4 weeks. The fact that Whittaker was the first female Doctor wasn't the reason for the negative reaction to the Chibnall's changes. I think it's more of a symptom than the cause. Right, and yet it appears that his get out clause, when speaking of it, that time was correct. I don't think so. I really didn't say. Well, you decide, right? Chibnall expecting backlash, misunderstand the problem. Okay, so what is the problem then? But going by his own statement, Chibnall's own statement, he was aware that fans would be divided on the year of Reply Speed, which Rusty Davis as well. Yeah, that's this video file. Where is it? Here it goes.
It's the 60th. Imagine how much fans love new things and will really rejoice when this happens.
I mean, I do like he's having a laugh with it, right?
It's a new...
but again, look, new things being accepted by fandom, it's purely on them being good or bad, right? And good or bad is a subjective thing. I know, it's really not, actually. Like, Philip Hinton, Robert Holmes is good. Timeless Children is bad, right? By Generation was bad. I don't mind somebody experimenting and having a duffer, but man, every decision has been a duffer so far. However, fine. So he said he would be divided on the process. However, associating his predicted criticism with the presence of the female Doctor shows how. So what is the issue then? He was really so keenly aware of aspects that that would be panned. The more logical move would have been to alter course rather than commit so hard to misguided action, or go forward and not have it be shit. See, the trouble is the quality of the writing just wasn't there, and then they hid from any criticism by saying, "Oh, you're just a sexist," right? That was the problem. So please, the problem with Chris Chibnall's era went far beyond a portion of the fan base that didn't like Jodie Whittaker as the new lead character. It was a new character. That's the thing. It wasn't the Doctor. Most of the issues came from the poor scripts, paper-thin villains, and such an illogical plot twist. But why did they have poor scripts, paper-thin villains, and a logical plot twist? Because the only thing that mattered was having a female Doctor, was representation. That was the only thing that was of any import to anyone. Fine, paper than villains, the logical. While Chibnall may understand this on some level, he doesn't seem to be willing to provide much. Well, it's all his fault. He's not going to blame himself. Explains the divisive time in charge and the desire to bring something new to the franchise. Well, again, lack of any internal logic. I leave us alone with this bullshit, mate. Right? Just leave us alone with it. While I'm tempted to freshen up Doctor Who should be applauded, Chibnall's mindset led to an underwhelming spell in the show's history. Doctor Who's Timeless Child backlash was more about the show than it being about something new. Yes, it was new and it was shit. Oh, I mean, okay. For example, let's say Spider-Man gets all new powers, right? And his powers are now, at will, he can turn to wood. So that doesn't seem that impressive a power. I think being able to spin, swing on webs like a spider throughout New York and fall villain. That just being able to turn into wood doesn't seem like a great idea. The word implies that he also believes part of the issue with his critics is the fact that he added something new to Doctor Who. However, fans are often excited by the introduction of new lore. Take the War Doctor. We all like the War fucking Doctor, right? I guess when you just try to do it again with the Council Estate Doctor, it didn't really work. Often excited by as the recent edition of the shocking bi-generation twist. No, we didn't like it. Sorry, mate. If you're kidding yourself, you think that went down well. It didn't, right? It did not go down well. Just understand that. It did not go down well. While it's true that that editions can be poorly received, the faults with Chibnall's most controversial design of the Timeless Child went far beyond that. Beyond the fact it was a fresh introduction. The identity of the Timeless Child being revealed as a Doctor destroys decades of carefully crafted storytelling. So I think the problem you have with the Timeless Child is you noticed it, right? You didn't notice Jodie Whittaker being exactly the opposite of the character of the Doctor. Right, the Doctor is an anti-authoritarian authority, right? And Jodie Whittaker was an authoritarian, bumbling moron, right? So, not an authority at all. And in terms of leaving Mark on the show, Chibnall introduced a plot twist that was so disruptive that opened up plot. We were opening up to make it so we can have more stories. No, you wanted to have a black woman with a gun. Right, that's all you wanted. You wanted there to be a black woman with a gun, right? That's literally all you cared about, with a big gun, I should say. Because of negative comments, and because Chris Chibnall wanted a black woman with a big black woman with a big black gun, right? Because he wanted that, and you point that out, they go, "Well, you don't like black people existing. I have no problem with black people existing, you fuck nut moron. I do have a problem with people like Chris Chibnall using black people for his own self-aggrandization. It's called tokenism, and it's pure racism. If you're not a dumb fuck, you understand that. But mostly the people who cheer for the Whitaker era are dumb fucks, right? It's kind of like, you have to. There's no way you get, like, I remember when my brother-in-law is the archetypal Democrat. Like, he lives in a very affluent, high-tech area. And just like, again, very, 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 archetypal Democrat. And he was over by us once. It's like to do the wedding, my son's wedding. I can't remember. Right, and we both avoid talking politics because we obviously have very different political views, right? And we don't want to offend each other, which is right. And he is such a good person. My wife's brother is genuinely a good, nice person. He mentioned, like, saying, well, you can't have any memory. If you have any memory, things get messed up. You can't. That's if you're a Democrat, you have to. You can't remember. Like, it's 2020, you have the summer of love and, insurrection everywhere. Then you look at January 6th and it's like, not so much. All right. It can be some negative comments. Described, but the even more objective one, Chibnall's additions to the canon completely undercut the Doctor's character, backstory, and legacy. Yes, because it was designed purely to make the character more diverse, right? That's why they like the idea. All the questions raised weren't answered in future Chibnall installments because he was fired halfway through, right? Instead, Russell Davies had to steady the ship upon the return as showrunner. No, he really didn't. He didn't ignore it, and he didn't go. And he didn't ignore it. He just moved forward and had kept it there. Right? And I think Doctor Who's on its fucking knees right now. Right. The rumor is that David Tennant either appears in season 1 finale or season 2 finale, and it's because Shooty Gut was not continuing after the 3rd season, right? And he needs help from other. Look, he's in the same unit. It makes zero sense to me that they wouldn't be using David Tennant whenever they can. So okay, there's changes that weren't justified. Let's look at changes that were justified. Let's say 10 changes that were completely justified, right? Fine, that's just the intro. It feels different this time. You would imagine that a biological process will be fairly consistent in the way it worked, but regeneration in the classic run was always a bit weird. Sure, you had the majority fall into a general box of whooshy effects around the face area. Well, yeah, you did it to the ability that television allowed you to do it. Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell just laid down in a studio and they mixed between the two. Then Patrick Troughton had all the faces around him. I have the right to decide what I look like. John Pertwee, he just fell out the TARDIS. The first time, I think the first normative regeneration was Planet of Spiders. Now, here's a question. When they release Planet of Spiders on Blu-ray, are they going to do a new special effect regeneration for that, right? They didn't do that for Tom Baker into Peter Davison. I'm surprised nobody's done that, right? And then Peter Davison into Colin Baker, it's more like inside his mindscape. Die, Doctor, die! You, Doctor, you must live. Two people would rejoice at your death, right? So Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy. Well, that's Sylvester McCoy in a wig. There was that was improved in the Blu-ray. I believe they had. 1 second. I think I have that. Let's have a look. Where they did some digital jiggery pokery with it, right? And it really made it work a lot better. I was thinking about it. Doctor Who, the TARDIS. It'll be Time of the Rani. By the next Blu-ray after season 15 is rumored to be season 25, which I really hope it is. Right? I really, really hope it is. Is this one 7 DFX? have a look. Let's have a look. No. And second. They're good effects of time, the Rani. I can't fault them there. Video file. If I can find this. Alternative opening. That's probably it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Let's see if that's it. And they were so excited about this, right? Here. I think this is the TARDIS landing is even a bit better on this. No, it's in that's in the Last Adventure revamp of it. Leave the girl. It's the man I want. It's a shame the Tetrats are so shit. But yeah, you see, they digitally changed it to Colin Baker's face. Right? Right. So I think that's, honestly, I think that's a reasonably good addition. So fine, where are we up to this? Show you Marty Fawn in general, bushy effects as like 7, Frankensteining himself into 8. Well, that was a bit weird. But basically, it was a morphing effect up until what's the name? Until Christopher Eccleston. 2 dropping acid and falling down a big hole. And Tom Baker getting a cuddle from a bald ghost made of cotton. Nobody seemed quite sure how they wanted the regeneration to work. And it was rejuvenation at the beginning. Cue the revival, and all these shows have remarkably seemed to be in agreement with the style established in 2005, minus Matt Smith's little time sneeze. But he he already had his light show and clock. Honestly, I think I like that regeneration is always a little bit different, frankly. I think that makes it more interesting. And also, you have different production teams, right? This is, you had Moffat continue the Rusty Davis stuff. And so, obviously they're going to continue that. So what are we up to? So, okay, that's a change that probably works. I will agree with you on that one, right? I'm over screwdrivers. What's this? We've had a while to sit on the recent Sonic screwdriver changes, and while the jury's still out on the 15th TV remote, jury's still out on the 15th Doctor, frankly. We quite like the new feature of the screwdriver, in particular the holographic display elements. No, I didn't like that at all, right? I did not like that at all. It was look, these holographic displays are just a dumb innovation that's been around, I think, since Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard. I don't like them at all. It's a cheap way of trying to make your show look sci-fi, right? It's always been a little odd in the revival. I seem to get the information, but that's kind of the fun bit of it. It didn't make any sense. They'll just look at it and like that. I mean, that was fun. Hey, where's my son? Let's go for the Matt Smith Sonic, right? And it same thing with the David Tennant Sonic as well. All right, and I tell you, I never really liked the Capaldi one. It just seemed to be like sort of a cash grab. I said to the camera back on. Yeah, 1 second. Doing. So look, they'll take the Sonic and where's the control for it? How do I open up this? It's over here, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So they go like they're looking. I'll do the right. They'll do and then they'll go. We need some more sugar in the ice cream, like something like that. It made no sense. It didn't matter that it didn't make any sense, right? I don't like that readout, right? I really don't like it. It's a creative decision from the new era. It's shit, obviously. Sonic serves as a free exposition tool, but having it visual display makes a big difference. No, I don't like that. You're wrong there. A flat team structure. What? Back in the day, the common criticism level of Doctor Who was a companion dynamic, often that played damsel in distress tropes. So there, yeah, look, it's Terence Diggs said, look, Doctor Who's always been accused of mild sexism, but it's a reasonably fair charge. I agree with you. I think it's a reasonably fair charge. Yeah, it is. I hate to say it. Yes, it's a reasonably fair charge. And I think that's something that the modern Doctor Who did, in that it made the companions into real people while still having them fit that role, right? I think Rose was very archetypal and really worked well, right? Really genuinely worked well, while still being a three-dimensional character with like having families and boyfriends. That really makes a difference. I agree with you. Can you hurry up, or I'll hit you with a shoe? What's it? One of the biggest changes Doctor Who has been an overall how stories are structured. Well, you change the story length. It's got everything. And that's a change that's quite difficult to argue with. Well, it's changed throughout its history. Like, you compare Robots of Death to say, I don't know, the Mind Robber, right? They're very different style stories, right? It's always been contemporary for the day. Or compare Robots of Death to Planet of the Daleks, for example, right? These are very different styles of storytelling. That's why I'm liking the new Big Finish Third Doctor story. It feels so authentically in that Third Doctor era, right? You got mining corporations, you got like all the political crap. It really fits so nicely into that, right? It really works. Where are we up to? Things tighten up as we entered the later classic years with the introduction of 45-minute episode Resurrection of Dark. It really didn't, actually. Right? Classic was heavily serialized. The story was running over many weeks, comprising of 4 to 6 parts, mainly 4. Stretching as many as 12. Okay. So now we have that was the biggest change. The stories were mainly individual episodes. Right. In 2000, we turned to a modern format. I'm going to disagree with them. I prefer the traditional format. Right. I think the modern format is the way you do it for the. It's the only way you can practically do it in the current world. But what's that? Hang on. Okay, I've just got pictures of my. We'll look at this next. I got pictures of my older son in the middle of Gaza. Okay. By the way, okay. Complete aside. You know the UN, the UNRWA offices were talking about that had the massive Hamas base underneath it. Like they literally just blew it up. My son just came home yesterday, and he said, "Oh yeah, he was the tank that captured it. He was the first tank in to take that down." And I was like, "Okay, I saw you on the news then." Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. Honestly, that was in the 90s when they were thinking about bringing it back. In the 2000s, they were thinking about doing 90-minute movies. Like, remember, was it Jonathan Thor? Inspector Morse type things, right? I think that might have worked better. I don't mind the new format, but it is a little bit light. I prefer the two-parters. But I think the older format, the older style of storytelling was, I think, better. It's them aliens. I bet my pension. Earth has had a rough time in the universe. During the revival alone, the planet has been invaded dozens of times. Dozens of times. Not really that much. But it's just counting the modern days. It happened so many times that the whole episode was just a highlight reel of previous invasions. If you're living in London, you're asking for it. The equivalent of moving to Albert Square. I agree with you. Despite this, the general public seem not to believe aliens exist. Well, yeah, but you got to hit kind of the universal reboot switch every now and again to make that work, right? Moffat did that, right, at the end of his first season when he rebooted the universe, right? And then I guess Chibnall did without really giving a shit. I kind of like that it's them aliens again. That kind of worked, right? It does kind of work. A bit of love life. So, did this make Doctor Who better or worse? That's a good question. I think in hindsight today, it opens the door for not great things, right? I mean, like, I like the whole Yaz Doctor relationship romance was just didn't work. Rose and the 10th Doctor barely worked. This felt like an innocent kiss. 8th Doctor kissing Grace. It didn't seem that sexual. But I think the character was better being asexual. I do now. Does that make him less believable? Well, in today's TV environment, people can't write something without sexuality because it's all they can think about. Fucking up weirdos. You had work done. So they're talking about the new special effects. I agree. Like I agree, especially Dalek Invasion of Earth. Right? Who was I speaking to recently? Who's just started watching Dalek Invasion of Earth? I said, watch it with the new effects. It really works, right? It really, really works. Okay, generally speaking, I think the new effects on classics are successful. It's if you don't like it, you don't like it, right? My future is in safe hands. So yeah, the replacing of Matt Smith with Ncuti Gatwa, I thought that was a good idea, even though I wasn't really on board with Ncuti Gatwa at the time. I think that's absolutely the way it was written, and I think it's a good idea that whenever they show an Adventure in Time and Space, they need to recut it to have the current Doctor in there when Hartnell looks at the future. Right, I really think that's an important message. Otherwise, it becomes which is not such a bad thing, I guess, a curio based around the 50th anniversary, which is now 10 years out of date. Welcome to the Sisterhood. What's this? When will we get a female Doctor Who? Has been a discussion. Yeah, and it failed horribly. The idea didn't just bring up later. Yes, they talked about it forever, and it just failed horribly. It wasn't until obviously the idea of gender swapping regenerations was cemented on TV, with the Master being given first dibs. Again, people memory hold this big time. That that Capaldi's Doctor didn't recognize Missy because she Master Missy because she changed her gender. Right? They really memory hold that. Right? And then the next year you had the old white man general turning into the middle-aged black woman instead. So yeah, no, wasn't a success. Last of the time, I'm so sick of seeing sad David Tennant Doctor Who. I think that was good for the time. I think by the 50th anniversary, moving it forward was and bringing the Time Lords back was a better idea. And it's just devolved into nothing, right? But I think if you want to relaunch the series, untethering it from the past, right, and just moving forward, I think getting rid of Gallifrey and that law is probably a good idea. So I think at the time it really worked. It helped the character. It helped the character dynamic with Ninth Doctor and Rose. But like now, stop with it. Yeah, stop with it. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.